Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another video. Today we're gonna be reacting to basically it's 30 minutes of the craziest creepy encounters told on a Joe Rogan podcast. Now I think I made a just similar video of this, but it didn't really go in depth in what the actual stories were. So let's check it out.
The satanic ritual site
And also I don't
in
remember
Utah.
that much
I
about
found
it too.
vehicles that were used in crimes dumped out there. I've found dogs from dog fights that were dumped out there. I've found animals that have just been dumped. I've found very intricate and mind-blowing satanic rituals and sacrifices.
What, bro? I'm not gonna lie. Anything satanic, bro, I'm running. I'm running. I'm getting out of there, bro.
Yeah.
As soon as I see that little famous circle with a star in the middle, I'm done.
Find maybe where someone's doing some voodoo, some Santeria, sacrifice the chicken, whatever. All
Sacrifice.
that's like kind of normal out there. That's not that crazy.
What?
But what I found this night was very crazy. Yeah, the police came and investigated it. It made the news, and that's the facility I was hunting. It's actually an abandoned space rocket facility from the Cold War, where they were developing and testing space rockets. I was out there, hunting these snakes, and this facility is you need special access. I was given special access by the state of Florida to remove pythons from.
This is in Florida,
and nobody.
I thought these like stories were like outside of America, but this is in America.
Different stuff like that. Usually to do stuff that they're not supposed to do. There's a lot of crimes committed out there. There's been murders out there, gang initiations, all kind of stuff.
So they have a pentagram that's...
Oh, it's called a pentagram.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. So we go out there. The first thing I came across was a big rock pile with a upside down wooden cross on top and a bunch of red spray painted upside down crosses all over. And you could tell the cross, I think, was burnt a little bit. And it wasn't, crazy, super crazy. It was like, oh, this is new.
Is that a doll?
A few days ago. And then I found this little doll.
It's a baby doll, bro. What?
As I kind of investigated that doll more, a little red scarlet snake actually came up and wrapped around her neck. And I picked up this, there it is. I picked up the scarlet snake, and which, it was kind of weird that there's a live snake, a red snake on this doll. And I've caught a lot of snakes in my life, and that is the only one that was bleeding out of its anus. There was blood coming out of its...
Hold up, bro. This is supposed to be serious and it's supposed to be scary, but I don't know. That just threw me off.
Beehole, which
I'm so immature.
Who knows what? It was a little weird to me. And then the night just kind of gets weird from there. You see the red lettering. There was a big Latin
but
saying,
the snake was wrapping this
like
wrapping around the neck of the dog.
I drove over it.
Creepy.
We later translated it to turn around, run, hide. He is watching you. Go further into the complex, and there's these...
understandably, I read that.
Going in the building,
I'm dipping.
Still just python hunting. Like, who knows what these kids are doing out here. I thought it was...
I don't care what type of hide it is, bro. If I see something like that, I'm turning around.
Like, and then I come to this big room where there's the big pentagram. In the middle of the pentagram, there is a three-legged plastic chair with a blood stain in the bottom of it, where you could tell something was killed, sacrificed, whatever. On each wall, there's 3 walls. On each wall, there's upside-down crosses, Latin sayings, and all kinds of stuff. As I'm kind of walking into the room, which, I don't want to sound like a psycho or anything, but that doll from earlier grabbed my leg. I don't know if I kicked it, I didn't see it, or what.
Oh my god, bro. Wow, so that's a lot. That's a lot to uncover, bro. Yeah, bro, when I really do be imagining myself in this situation, but I really can't because I would never be in this type of situation. But if I try to imagine myself, I would deadass, bro. I would deadass freeze and run. I wouldn't freeze. I would freeze for a little, like 1 second, and then run, bro. I don't care where, just run somewhere, bro.
But that doll from the
I
rock
can't
pile
do dolls,
else,
bro.
I don't know if it was another doll or what. I never seen that other doll. I kick it. It seemed like it grabbed me. It's that same doll from earlier. Same thing with the cross on its forehead. The one eye cocked over, the other eye messed up. And so, it's very, very weird to me. Kind of like scared me.
So
right next...
It wasn't there and then it was there? So
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it.
You didn't carry it over there?
No, I didn't touch it.
So was anybody else with you?
I had 2 guys with me that didn't even want to get out of the truck when they seen the first thing. They stayed in the truck.
So the same
they
doll
didn't
that
touch
you saw on the
anything.
rock
He went by
somehow
himself.
made its way to where you were?
Yep. I don't know if it's a duplicate doll or what, but it's same.
Was it more than one of those dolls?
Only doll I seen. Only doll I seen. I'm not big on the whole supernatural thing, so I'm real doubtful of it in the first place. But to me, it was the same doll from earlier. I did not see it until it hit my foot. Right next to that doll, there is a saying on the ground that says, "The omen will follow," which to me was
The
like the
omen will
creepiest thing of the whole
follow.
thing. Was like, you know, that if you interact with any of this spirit's gonna follow you.
Oh,
Very strange,
yeah.
right? Very strange. As we go through, there's all kind of different stuff.
That's another reason, bro.
In one of the rooms, there's a sleeping bag with something inside of it. I don't think it was a body, anything like that. Police went out there, investigated it. I didn't investigate further past that. Something was inside the sleeping bag, and on the walls there was looked like red spray paint, and it said she was only 9. We gave her to the devil, like basically talking about sacrificing a child. And then you have this little girl's gown that's nailed to the wall with like a dark red stain on it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
And what
my
was the
God.
investigation? Did you follow up and find out what they found out?
I never heard anything from it. I'm assuming they never found much from it because I never heard anything from it.
Did they know it was human blood that was in the chair?
I
Yo,
don't
what
know.
if they're
I
just
don't
like
know. I
hiding
would like
it,
to
bro?
think it's red spray paint, but
Like they did
I don't
find
know.
some
Who
crazy
knows what
stuff,
it
but they're
was.
keeping it
Yeah.
under the rug.
so, you know, we continue on with our hunt. We end up starting to get out of there. The guys are like, dude, we want to go. We don't like this shit. I'm like, all right, you know, let's pack it up. Let's go. So we start making our way out, and I see flashlights. I mean, there's one road in, one road out. There's a gate at the end of it. You can't drive a vehicle in, and I mean, we're miles out here. You have to drive miles to then walk miles, right? So I see this flashlight bouncing on the side of the road as I'm driving out, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? No, I've never seen anyone out here in my life, ever. Getting closer to him, I have my pistol in my truck. I put my pistol on my lap, you know, just in case. As I'm getting closer, about to kind of pass the guy's like, Mike, it's my name. And he's like, I love your Instagram. I
Oh,
was like,
Hitchhiking
as
after
a
midnight.
fan,
The
all right.
stranger who wanted more.
I never talked growing up. I was the kid in the corner, and like girls would form groups and talk about which guy they want to fuck, and I wouldn't even be. They're like, Dave's sitting right there, and they're like, yeah, he's not even on the fucking roster. And I'm like, so I go, wait, is this racist? Yeah, but what has it? How can I turn this around? What it did for me, the Asian superpower is, if you're not seen and you're not heard, and we're seen as non-threatening, I can go anywhere. I can go anywhere, and people open up to me. I've been to the Congo. I've been to third world countries. I've been to every fucking state in America. I might be the most American person. Like, I've been to every fucking state. I've hitchhiked from the time I was 15 to every fucking state, every country, and I've talked, and because when people see, oh, that guy's Chinese, he's like Jackie Chan, or he's whatever they think, they don't think that I'm gonna do anything or say anything, or I'm gonna pose any threat. So they just open up and they say the most, I don't know, like when I started hitchhiking, people said no one's gonna pick you up, right? Like 60s, 70s, everyone hitchhiked, and then something weird happened in the 80s where like you're gonna get raped, kidnapped, murdered, you know. But I go, I don't think so. I think if I put my thumb out and
Nah,
ask
I
for
could
help,
never
someone's gonna give it
hitchhike,
to me.
bro.
And with that, I got to see the world for free. I got to go everywhere, and much like what happened was I would sit shotgun, and I'm getting
Yeah,
these
I
free
could
rides.
never
And two
hitchhike,
things would
bro.
happen. Either the driver has a long drive and they want someone to talk to, or
Bro,
they want
the
me
only
to
time
talk
I'll
to them.
hitchhike is
And
maybe if it's like a female
Something would
driving.
happen, and like I'm in the car
But a
right
guy?
now with a complete
Nah.
stranger. Anything could happen. And the first
But
hour
yet
is
again, the
always
female could all
small
keep be
talk. How long
hiding
you
a
been on the road?
pistol.
What
A
would you-
pistol.
it's all that kind of stuff. Something switches when they know the ride's like I'm about to get out or whatever. I'm never gonna see this guy again. I'm never gonna see this guy again. So now we've been talking about news, sports, and weather for an hour. Last 10 minutes, I fucked my sister when I was 12.
Whoa.
Everything comes out.
Whoa, what the what? Bro, what the fuck? Yo, why would he need to know that? So you're telling me this guy who picked you up started to open up to you, and that's the first thing he says? What?
So I've heard. Think about how many rides I've hitchhiked.
How old was he? He was 12. How old was his sister?
I don't know. It's 8. I mean, everything. Drugs, incest. You know, I killed somebody. Like murder.
Yo,
a guy-
confessing
confessions.
murders?
Really?
I've heard the most
What,
insane.
hold one at a time. Murder confession.
I don't know if I should retell it.
You definitely should be.
A guy confessed to me that he was thinking of raping me when I stayed at his house.
Oh Jesus! You
Like-
stayed at his house. You didn't just hit.
Yo, bro, this is why I can never hitchhike, bro. Cause it'll only be the weirdest motherfuckers stopping to pick you up. Especially if you're a girl, bro. If you're a girl, you should never hitchhike. Never hitchhike. If you're a guy, you should still never hitchhike, bro. What? Bro, if I hear something and I'm staying in someone's house, first of all, I would never be in this type of situation. But if I somehow was, and they say this the first thing, I'm packing my shit and I'm leaving, bro. And if they try to block off the door, we're running the ones and I'm winning, bro. Any means possible, I'm getting out of that crib.
Hitchhike? You hitchhoused?
I was in the deep south. I was in the deep south. It was like I was trying to hitchhike from LA to New York City. I was with my friend Brian. Same thing. No one's gonna pick up two fucking dudes. And John Wayne picks us up, cowboy guy. 10-gallon hat. You know, damn, you boys look, you know, hot out there. Get in the car. And he's telling us about shrimp po' boys, and you know, he works on a offshore oil rig, and it's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and it's just 2 weeks off right now. So he's like, "Where are you guys headed?" And we're like, "We're trying to get to New York." New York? What you want to go there for? A bunch of queers out there. I don't know. We want to check it out. You guys want to stay at my house tonight? Like, this guy looks like grandpa. Just cowboy boots, cowboy hat, just big gut. Like, he's a dude.
Right.
Yeah, I'm young. I'm 17 or 18 at this time. We get to his house in fuck, this is what I'm talking about. It's a tiny town in Louisiana, deep south.
Okay.
Like, we get in his house, Die Hard movie collection, Rambo movie collection, shotguns, and
Lube.
just a dude, just a man's man.
Just like a normal dude.
And he has and his part-time job is an anesthesiologist. That
Part-time anesthesiologist.
Anesthesiologist.
Part-time offshore oil rig.
Yo, this man is in his bag. Hold up, bro. This man is in his bag. I respect it. But I know it's going to get creepy.
And I'm, you know, this is summertime, deep south, covered with like grease and mosquitoes, living outside on the road, hitchhiking. He's like, "You guys want to take a shower?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah." I'm the first one in the shower. And then I come out, I got the towel wrapped on. He's like, he made us like a frozen pizza or something. And there's a protest on the television. It's Sanford. This is 1993 or 94. There's a protest of something with gay people in San Francisco. And they were protesting. And he's watching it. I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I'm queer. You never see me out there protesting." And I'm like, "Oh shit." And then my friend Brian, who's covered in grease and dirt, he hasn't showered yet. And I'm like, "Oh shit." And I started getting my clothes on. And you know, it's one thing to be gay, and then it's one thing to be picked up by like a
big gay guy with a cowboy hat who takes you to his house.
So here's the thing: I don't want to discourage people from hitchhiking. This is one weird
Don't
incident
hitchhike,
that's
bro.
happened in like
Do
15
not
years of
hitchhike, bro.
So he's like, "Hey, Brian, it's your turn. Why don't you take a shower?" "No, I'm okay. I'm all right." "You're filthy. Why don't you get in there and take a shower?" He's like, "No, I'm all right. I'm okay." And I go, "Oh fuck, what do we do?" You know, like do a little powwow in the corner. He's like, "He's old. We can take him if he tries anything. We're tired. We were fucking so tired. We're like, he looks like he was like falling asleep on his couch, and he goes, he's gonna go to sleep soon. Let's just fucking stay the night. It's fucking air conditioned in here, and then let's leave first thing in the morning before he wakes up." I'm like, "Okay, fuck it, let's just do it." "All right, boys, I'm gonna turn in." I'm like, "Yes." So we take the couch, and I go, "Let's."
Bro, I'm just one thing, bro. Just hitchhiking in general is crazy. But hitchhiking and going back to their crib in the middle of nowhere in the South, especially in Louisiana, yeah, that's just riding. That's just riding that's just something that has to happen, bro. Like that's a script for a horror movie right there, bro. Yeah, I don't know how people do this. I don't know how he did this, bro. Uh, bro, if I was ever put in a situation like this, one of us with one of my friends, bro, one of us has to stay up, bro. One of us has to stay up, and then the other falls asleep, and then vice versa, bro.
Sleep in a formation, and let's take turns. You sit. We should have just left. You go. You stay up for an hour, and then wake me up. I'll stay up for an hour. And then we'll leave crack of dawn. You know. I had a pocket knife, so I slept like this. I took the knife and I put the thing like this, and I slept like that. And I stayed up for the first hour, and I see him walking around his room. The lights are on. And I'm like, this guy's not going to sleep. Midnight, 1 a.m. I'm like, what the fuck? Why won't this guy go to sleep?
Putting his masks on.
So I nudge Brian. I go, "Hey, it's your turn. I'm gonna fucking pass out." He's out cold. I'm like, "Fuck, dude. Fuck, man." I'm too tired, and I go, "Okay, I'm just gonna stay up the whole night." So I'm up. I'm like, guys are closing. Back up.
I'm not gonna lie, the
gripping
fear
the
in me
knife,
will stay me up, bro.
Sometime
I would
around
not be able to fall
5:30 in the
asleep
morning or something.
if I feel fear.
My eyes are closed, but you know when you feel someone,
Even no matter how
So
tired I
he
am,
comes out of his
I'll
room.
never fall.
and he's standing there, and I could
Especially
see,
if I
and then
feel fear.
oh shit! And then I grip the knife, and I go, "This is it. This is it. It's gonna happen right now." And he just leaves. He goes out the door, and I go, "Oh fuck!" Like, and then I wake up Brian. I go, "Brian, let's get the fuck out of here." He's like, what's going on? He's like, dude, he just left. He's like, okay, I'm gonna take a shower then. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, if he went to the store or something, like he's not
to
gonna
get some duct
Yeah,
tape.
he's not gonna be back for. I'll jump in and jump. I go, dude, let's just go right now. Like he was, I don't know if he was jerking off or what. Like I had my eyes closed, but he was standing right there, and he's like, I'll be quick. So he runs in, takes a fast shower. We get our clothes on, and like just as we're walking out, he's like, hey, he like pulls in. You guys leaving without saying bye? I just went to the market to get some eggs for breakfast, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude. So I'm like, I have the knife in my hand the whole time. I go, like. It's that thing where I'm a people pleaser, you know, like I'll even put my own life at risk to like, this guy went to the store and got eggs for me, you know, like, yeah, sure, we'll have some eggs. So we go in and the guy starts talking about his wife and how he works on this offshore oil rig with like a younger dude. It's just two guys running this whole oil rig. And the other guy just talks about how much he hates gay people the whole time, not knowing that this guy is
gay.
and then he just like all the other times I've been picked up, starts opening up about how he was married, he has a bunch of children, and he figured out he was gay, and then he's like, hey, I could see it. He knows we're on our way out. He's never gonna see us. Let's just fucking let it on. You boys look so cute on the side of the road there last night, and it's like I was so like I'm so lonely. I don't get to, you know, you don't know what it's like to be a queer guy in the deep south, and man, when I came out this morning and I saw you guys sleeping together, you guys on the couch, you look so beautiful and perfect, and I'm like, oh my fucking god,
Fuck,
dude.
bro.
And then he says, I thought about just, you know, if you guys wouldn't mind if I just touched you a little bit.
Oh my
And I'm
god,
like,
bro.
what
What the fuck?
Once again, I froze. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah,
What?
And so I said, yeah, we're gonna leave now. So we just fucking.
Oh,
booked
yeah,
it.
cool.
And then all of his neighbors were black. Like he lived like in a black neighborhood, and like the houses are on stilts because of the swampland and whatever. And I don't know if he's done this before, but as we ran out, like I heard like the kids laughing, and they're like, "Oh, Tom, they're trying to do it again," and I'm like, "Oh fuck, like this isn't the first time." Like,
Of course.
and look, man,
drives
this
around
is
looking for hitchhikers.
They came at night.
Bro,
person that you run into in
that
the
story,
woods
bro,
is scary.
was actually
It's
kind of
weird.
funny, bro.
Like if you, I
Yeah.
always said that everything in the woods is scary. Like if you saw a naked baby in the woods, you'd be like, "What's that baby doing here?"
Exactly.
Nuts.
Yeah,
Baby
yeah.
just standing there looking at you.
Right.
There's something weird about the woods in general. And if you were walking through a mall and a man was walking your way, it's just another person. Like, hello, hi. You know, you're at the park, see a guy, normal. But if you're in the middle of nowhere in the woods and you see another person, there's this moment where you're like, "What's this guy up to? Who is he? What's he doing? Is he dangerous?"
Yeah, and I think that's because we're all raised in an urban environment, more or less nowadays, and so having lots of people around is normal. But to have one person in a pretty remote area, we don't experience that very often
But
anymore.
there's also no one is going to help you there.
Right.
If you're alone in the woods, there's this weird, like if you're some crazy serial killer guys out there, like, and you know, you're backpacking, you're like, like now I'm at the mercy of this person if they're crazy.
I have a chapter in my book where I describe an event that I'm basically been a real private person all my life until this book came out. And once I wrote this book, I had to bring up stories that are very personal to me. And I had an event one night that was terrifying, probably the most terrifying thing that's ever happened in my life. It involved humans. So yeah, I totally get that. People in
What
places where
happened?
they
Can you
shouldn't
tell us?
be. I'll just give
Okay.
you the elevator speech part of it.
Okay.
So I was in my cabin at night, and the dog started growling. I had very big dogs. I always have dogs. And I looked out my window, and it was winter, and it was cold, and I could see a couple of guys out there lurking around, and I was in the middle of nowhere. And then it kind of digressed.
Yeah, that
from
couldn't be me, bro.
So I
Like, I'm gonna be honest, when I was a kid, when I was younger, I always wanted to go camping and shit. But now that I'm older, I'm like, nah, I could never go in the middle of nowhere. I could never go camping in the middle of nowhere in the woods, bro. Because you never know what can be lurking there, bro. You never know. That's why I could never do that. Nah. Can't be me.
for the first and only
But if it's
time
like
in
a
my life, I
mountain,
pulled a gun on these
maybe.
guys.
Really?
Yeah, I was in danger.
What were they doing out there?
Well, they came to pay me a visit.
They knew who you were?
They called me by name, which was really freaky. So you think somebody in the woods walking around scary? Wait till you see somebody who you don't know who it is and they call you by your first name. That's freaky.
And what did they want?
I didn't find out because I pulled a gun on them.
Wow.
I drove them off. And it was
So
terrifying to me it was not terrifying at the moment because I was absolutely focused, like predator focused, calm. But after they left, I started to shake and
yeah.
kind of after the adrenaline surge happened. They were drunk.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
And so how did they know who you were? Do you know?
I was working up there. I was kind of a novelty, a young blonde woman. I was only about 25. living alone, studying wolves. And at the time, there were other people coming and going, studying wolves. But at that winter, I was alone. I was working behind the customs station right on the Canadian border, and they were hauling logs down out of Canada, bringing in the customs station. They would have to transfer the logs to an American truck, and then the Canadian trucks would go back. And I temporarily took a job as the knot bumper at the log deck landing, which means my job was to run a chainsaw, trim off the branches, trim the length of the logs to exactly fit the log bed. Anyway, so I was around. So these loggers knew who I was, and I was, I was cordial enough. But it was two of those guys.
Oh.
Yeah, and I never told the story until I wrote this book.
What?
And I just
Wait, hold
thought,
on.
trim the length of the logs to exactly fit the log bed. Anyway, so I was around. So these loggers knew who I was, and I was, I was cordial enough. But it was two of those guys.
Oh.
Yeah, and I never told the story till I wrote this book, and I just thought it's a part of me that's very personal. It's a part of me that I learned from. It's never happened again. And I had one old logger, old Bob. He saw me on the road the next day. I was pretty shook up, and he stopped. We chatted often, and he says, "So, I hear you had some visitors last night." And I lifted up because he's up in his log truck. I said, "Yeah." He says, "You don't have to worry. That won't happen again." He was kind of watching out for me.
So how did he find out that you had visitors?
The Logger Network, the CB radios. I don't know. I didn't tell anybody. But
Oh,
he
wow.
knew right away.
Yeah, it's humans that you have to be scared of.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no serial killer mountain lions, right? They just have a purpose in nature.
Yeah. They just kill because they kill because they eat.
Well, that's what their job is.
People are
Yeah,
weird.
people are
Your little
creepy.
sign about their evil.
Bro, you always carry a weapon, bro. Yo, one thing I learned from listening to these stories, bro, always carry a weapon. Always have a weapon next to you, bro. Or at least know how to fight, bro. Like, at least know how to throw a jab, hit a right hook, kick, wrestle, but always have a weapon, bro. Now, that's one thing I take from listening to all these stories.
Weird. I love that.
Yeah, especially men. Men in the woods are scary.
Creepy men that wanted more.
I dodged
happen.
2 molestation attempts.
Really?
Yeah, 2.
What'd you dodge?
Well, I dodged one of them when I probably was like 7 or 8 years old. That was the scary. Well, they were both pretty scary, but that was the scarier one because I was at the library and I was by myself. I was a latchkey kid. My parents just let me out of the house. At the time was kind of normal. In retrospect, like thinking about it now, like I couldn't imagine letting my 7-year-old just
public
fucking
library.
wander around. Not just that, but walk to the public library. In San Francisco. And this guy, and so I was reading these books in this. They had a section of like monster books.
Yeah.
And this guy came up to me and he goes, "Do you like monster books?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, I have some monster books in my car. You want to see them?"
Oh, no,
Okay.
no.
Like, I didn't know any better. I was fucking 8 years old or whatever it was. And as I'm leaving with this guy, the librarian starts screaming, "Joseph, you get away from that man!" That
Shout
man
out to
just
the
got out of
librarian.
jail.
Shout out to the
And
librarian,
She
bro.
yells at him to get out of there, and the guy runs away, and I just started crying, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
So I dodged that bullet. And then another time, when I was 13.
Shout out to
we were
the
hanging around this
librarian,
lake
bro.
In,
They
Jamaica
usually
Plain.
want everything to be quiet, and this librarian in a quiet place yelled her lungs out, bro, to say this, man. That's a dope for you, bro. But I'm gonna be honest, bro. I think ever since I was a kid, I always knew. I never been told this, but I always knew, just by hearing stories, to never talk to strangers and never go in their cars, bro. Never do that. Especially the crib, bro. I could never.
It was this Jamaica Pond was this place where we'd go and fish, and there was another pond that was like this neighboring pond that was like slightly smaller, and this guy was always like running around the lake. He was jogging, and me and my friend Josh would be hanging out. This guy would come over and talk to us. He seemed like a super normal guy. He used to be a teacher, and he had retired, and he probably was like in his 60s. And one day it's just me.
He went for it.
One day it's just me, and I'm fishing, and he comes by, and he's drunk.
Damn.
And he tells me he loves me, and I'm like super confused.
How old were you?
13.
Okay.
And I had been talking to this guy on and off. I'd seen him, for months.
Yeah.
Like he'd come by, say
Yeah,
hi.
yeah.
It was always like casual, very good humored, very friendly. But he was like setting us up, and he comes by, and then I realized after he tells me he loves me, but there can be no love without sex. That's what he says.
Yo.
And I'm
What?
like, what? And I had a knife. So I remember I grabbed my knife in my pocket, and I had my hand on my knife, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to stab this guy.
Damn.
Yeah. I was like, this is going to, because there was no one around. There was no one around. It was
Wow.
just trees and
You were 13,
forest.
you were
I
like,
was
I'm gonna have to
13.
stab.
Oh, I was going to
Damn. In the middle of the forest, bro. I don't know why you would ever want to go in the middle of the forest out of nowhere, but damn. I'm gonna be honest, The second one was funny. The first one was actually really creepy. The second one with the hitchhiking was funny, but it was creepy at the same time. The third one, the lady in the woods. I think the third one was the lady. Yeah, the one in the lady in the woods, bro. That generally was creepy. Like two drunk dudes, bro. Come on, bro. You know what they're trying to do. And then the fourth one, I think Joe Rogan's one of him getting, molested. That shit was just crazy. But shout out to the librarian. Hey, let me know what y'all think and what y'all like, what you didn't like with the video. What y'all, all right, I don't know why I'm talking gibberish, but I'll catch you on the next one.